Hi guys, my name's Kelly and you're watching The Global Bookworm. And before I do anything else, I have to say a huge thank you to all the new subscribers, because since I posted my video on Christmas Day, and that was my first bookish video for a few months because I was travelling, since then I've had just over 100 subscribers, and that is so cool because literally, that's a good start, because literally that is a third of my total subscribers. On Christmas Day I had, I think, 201 subscribers. I now at last count have 305 subscribers, and that's based on 2 new videos because I uploaded one on, oh no, 3 new videos. I uploaded one on Boxing Day and then I also did another one just before I left Sydney. So, spoiler, I have now left Sydney. I'm in the outback. I've been here for just over 2 weeks. First I was getting to know the ropes. This is kind of a, well, it's not kind of, it is, well no, there, oh god, this is already going off the rails. Basically, this family are in the beginnings, well they're 4 years in actually, but it's a long process to becoming like a permaculture, self-sustaining home. They have 2 acres here and they're in the middle of propagating and planting and landscaping, and I'm helping with all of that for 3 months. I've just started my 3 weeks of house sitting for them because they're away in the Solomon Islands for 3 weeks, and it's pretty cool being in the middle of nowhere all by myself. There are, I think, about 12 people in this town, but the nearest proper town is about half an hour's drive away, and then the nearest proper town is, I think, 2.5 hours away. So it's pretty remote, and there are some big spiders, but I haven't, well, I've seen snakes on the road, but I haven't, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Now I'm gonna, right, well, yes, now I'm going to encounter snakes at every turn, but up until this point I had not encountered many snakes, so why did I say that? So I'm here somewhat belatedly to film my most anticipated books of 2015, and I've decided to split the video in 2 because I am anticipating a lot this year. It just so happens that I have 14 books to show you, but I wasn't aiming for 15 like 2015, 16 for 2016 and 17 for 2017, because I don't know, I think it becomes a bit arbitrary and loses some of its meaning when you're just choosing the book to meet the quota of the year you happen to be in, if that makes sense. And also, this may become relevant, my laptop was very poorly over Christmas, perfect timing, and I had to take it to the doctor, and as a result I lost quite a lot of stuff on it, including my video editing software, so I have no idea how I'm going to edit this video yet, because I want to do the whole picture-in-picture thing, so I can show you the book covers about here, maybe, but I can't find a free one that does that, so I hope I don't have to do that horrible cutaway thing where the screen just, I disappear and then there's a book and silence and it's boring. The first book I am anticipating of this year has in fact already come out because I was late filming this, and it came out on the 13th of January. It is The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black, and as you might expect from Holly Black, it covers fae and humans coexisting, blah blah blah, but I don't care about that. I care about this part, which says, at the center of it all there is a glass coffin in the woods. It rests right on the ground, and in it sleeps a boy with horns on his head and ears as pointed as knives. Hazel and Ben were both in love with him as children. The boy has slept there for generations, never waking, until one day he does. Dun dun dun. Next month, on the 10th of February, is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I've seen this quite a few places on BookTube, so I am not the only one anticipating this. It is, I'm just looking at the cover, and hopefully you are too, because it's gorgeous. And honestly, I find what's it called, the blurb a bit, I don't really know exactly, it doesn't give that much of an idea of it. It seems to have class divides, and the classes are once again denominated by colour. Instead of black and white, we've got reds and silvers. The reds are commoners, the silvers are elite warrior class with godlike powers. And a woman from a girl from the red class is going to work in the Silver Palace, and she has powers. I don't really know. I'm going with it based on the fact that it's got a great cover and there seems to be a bit of buzz about it. The colour segregation idea is not the newest, but we know it happens, so, well, new or not, I guess it's valid. I don't know, I think I'm getting sort of Mallory Blackman Noughts and Crosses vibes from it, but probably not with the teeth that Noughts and Crosses had. And then, moving on to book 3, February 24th now, and that is a busy day because we have The Sin Eater's Daughter by Melinda Salisbury, and this is really up there. This is probably in the top 3 for this, well, definitely the top 5 for this year and the top 3 for the first half of it. The Sin Eater's Daughter is about a girl who is engaged to a prince who pretty much fears her, as does everyone else, because she is the executioner. Like, killing is in her blood, she kills who she touches. So I know that sounds a bit like Juliet from the Shatter Me trilogy by Tahira Mafi, but the rest of it does not. Yep, I've definitely been talking too long already because my camera just cut out. What was I saying about The Sin Eater's Daughter? So, murder in her blood, she's the executioner, engaged to a prince, but a guard arrives who can see her for who she is and not be afraid. Oh, she's called Twilla. Did I mention that? I'm not keen on that name, Twilla. She's promised to the prince, her heart is leading her elsewhere, and there is a treasonous secret, so I feel like I'm justifying these choices to you. I just happen to be really looking forward to these books. Next, on the same day, which was the 24th of February, is A Wicked Thing by Rhiannon Thomas. And this, I mean, fairy tale retellings are everywhere right now, but I'm happy with it because I love them. This one is a retelling, a realistic retelling of Sleeping Beauty. And in this, Sleeping Beauty wakes up after years of sleep, her family is gone, her friends are gone, and she finds a very kind man has woken her up, and she's just expected to marry him, but she's questioning it, as would you, and she has to decide whether she's going to marry him or run away, because it's all shades of messed up, frankly, and she can see it. March, we have The Winner's Crime by Marie Rukowski. The Winner's Curse I read last year, and it was so good, and it had the most amazing cover. This one's not quite as nice, although maybe it'll be nicer in person, but it's about Lady Kestrel and a boy who was her servant, basically, called Aaron, and then I can't tell you that because this is a sequel. Basically, there's no basic about it. It was quite, that was stuff happened, and there is a sequel that has to be read, and it's on my list. So that's The Winner's Crime. The 10th of March is Shadow Scale, another sequel. This one's by Rachel Hartman, and it's the sequel to Seraphina. Also read this one last year, also really loved it. It was probably one of the standouts of last year. It's about a girl who's part dragon in a world where dragons and humans have this kind of uneasy truce, and yeah, that's all I'll say about that. Just read it, it's really, really good. And Shadow Scale comes out on the 10th of March. Then on the 24th of March we have the last sequel, I believe, of the first half of this year that I am particularly anticipating. Half Wild by Sally Green, sequel to Half Bad. Really, really enjoyed that a lot more than I thought I was going to last year. It's about a boy who is half Black Witch, half White Witch, and he's very closely monitored by the Council of White Witches as he develops, because they're not sure which side of himself he's going to choose to follow, and the Black Witches are bad, of course. Again, that colour thing is still in play. Yeah, the boy is called Nathan, and oh god, he goes through some stuff. There's torture, there's cages. This is not a subtle book, at least Half Bad wasn't, and I'm hoping the Half Wild won't be either, because every so often I like the books that don't mince their words, frankly. April, my birthday month, and oh yeah, this is a good month. On the 21st of April, why am I already forgetting the month? The 21st of April we have Becoming Jinn by Laurie Goldstein, and this one, I'm not completely sure about the plot, but the fact that it's about jinn, like, well, jinn, genies, and there's a girl, if I could articulate, there is a girl called Azra. She's just turned 16, and it brings about more bodily changes than puberty would usually bring. Her body lengthens, her skin tone deepens, her eyes glisten gold, and there are brand new silver cuffs on her wrists. Onto the humans she lives among, she's just the girl working at the snack bar at the beach, navigating the friar and her first crush. But behind closed doors she's learning how to harness her powers and fulfill the obligations of her destiny. We've had witches, we've had vampires, we've even had zombies, dragons, I've just been talking about dragons. Now we have jinn, and that's a good development. I'm all for that, although this may not be the best vehicle for it going from that plot. 28th of April, Rook by Sharon Pfeffer. One thing I did not anticipate about the Outback are the bloody flies. I just went on a rampage with this can of killing spray, death to flydom, and they're still here. As I was saying, Rook by Sharon Cameron comes out on the 28th of April. This again is also in my top 5, I think, for the year, and I'm just going to read the synopsis because I'm butchering everything. History has a way of repeating itself. In the sunken city that was once Paris, all who oppose the new revolution are being put to the blade, except for those who disappear from their prison cells, a red-tipped rook feather left in their place. Is the mysterious Red Rook a saviour of the innocent or a criminal? Meanwhile, across the sea in the Commonwealth, Sophia Bellamy's arranged marriage to the wealthy René Hassard is the last chance to save her family from ruin. But when the search for the Red Rook comes straight to her doorstep, Sophia discovers that her fiancé is not all he seems, which is only fair, because neither is she. And I don't know, this seems like it might be kind of Scarlet Pimpernel-ish, and also recently I've noticed quite a lot of young marriages in young adult fiction, and I know that it's set in a different time, a different world where that's the norm, but still there's lots more young marriages, arranged marriages happening. And I mean, case in point, I'm about to start reading the Book of Ivy, and this has got an arranged marriage. I mean, Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge had an arranged marriage, and that was a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So I don't know, I'm pretty sure that her fiance's got to be the Rook. So, and also, I like the name The Rook. That would be a really cool superhero name, actually. Also on the 28th of April is another super anticipated one, An Ember in the Ashes by Sabah Tahir, which is, it's set in a brutal Rome-like world, says Goodreads, and it's an epic fantasy debut novel. Can I once again just read you the blurb, because this has me going gaga. Laia is a scholar living under the iron-fisted rule of the Martial Empire. When her brother is arrested for treason, Laia goes undercover as a slave at the Empire's greatest military academy in exchange for assistance from rebel scholars who claim that they will help to save her brother from execution. I can read. read, I promise. Elias is the Academy's finest soldier and secretly its most unwilling. Elias is considering deserting the military, but before he can, he's ordered to participate in a ruthless contest to choose the next martial emperor. I kind of really like anything with a martial aspect, especially if there's a girl from outside infiltrating in. It doesn't have to be a girl, actually, it could be a boy, but we've got a girl and a boy from opposing sides or both sides. I don't know, I'm just genuinely really excited about that one. Do you remember my video about my bookish resolutions and wanting to be more articulate in my videos? I'm already failing that, and that's quite an impressive feat to fail already. We haven't even finished the first month. Moving on. Go away. May! We're on May, and the 5th of May brings with it A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I haven't even finished reading, oh god, how can I have forgotten? You know, the ones, oh god, what are they called? I'm really annoyed that I can't remember that, and I just need to move on with my life, and I just can't. You know what I'm talking about. A Court of Thorns and Roses, however, is the beginning of a new, thrilling and seductive series. And apparently it blends Beauty and the Beast with fairy lore, and as I've said before, Beauty and the Beast is my favourite fairy tale, right up there with the Six Swans. So I want to read this, and I'm not going to say anything about it because plenty of people have said plenty about it before, and I'm annoyed at myself that I can't remember the other books. Just hang on a minute. Yes, a Throne of Glass! You know, I think my camera can sense when I'm having a little meltdown because it just cuts out and then I have to go and turn it back on, which gives me time to recover slightly. Or not at all. Where am I? The 5th of May! We're only on the 5th of May. Crimson Bound by Rosamund Hodge is also coming out that day, and it is part of the Cruel Beauty universe. I read Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge last year. One of the most beautiful book covers I have ever seen. Really drool worthy. That was a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. This is a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood, and I'm sure it's going to be very, well, almost unrecognizable, because what she did with Beauty and the Beast, she mixed mythology, hermeticism in with the fairy tale, and it was quite complicated. It didn't quite succeed, but it was, but hi, you can get through there, just jump. There's a hole in the fly screen that the cat jumps through. There you go, he's a good boy. Morpheus, Morpheus, come here. Really gorgeous cat. I hope he comes up here so you can see him. I'm not going to say anything else about it. It's the story of Little Red Riding Hood with twists galore, I'm sure. Hello? Come on. Come on. Fine, reject me on camera. Next, we're skipping ahead to the 12th of May and The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. Ahdieh. I'm not sure how to say the surname. Hello? And I'm going to read the synopsis because I'm clearly losing my mind. Every door brings horror to different... Blah, blah, blah. I've told you I can read, and now I will demonstrate. Every dawn brings horror to a different family in a land ruled by a killer. Khalid, the 18-year-old Caliph of Khorasan, oh, I wish I hadn't started this now, takes a new bride each night only to have her executed at sunrise. So it is a suspicious surprise. Oh, this video is not good. So it is a suspicious surprise when 16-year-old Shahrazad volunteers to marry Khalid, but she does so with a clever plan to stay alive and exact revenge on the Caliph for the murder of her best friend and countless other girls. Whew, this is not turning into a good video for me. I'm about to lose those 100, aren't I? Anyway, that sounds pretty cool to me. It kind of sounds like a 1001 Nights rather, and actually I've just seen it written there that it is inspired by it, so I feel slightly less clever for making the link now. This is the last book I'm going to talk to you about, and then I'm going to go and hang my head in shame because this is a train wreck. It is coming out on the 9th of June. It's called Hello, I Love You by Katie M. Stout. And this book is about a girl who goes, where's she from? I don't know. Why am I asking myself these questions that I can't answer? She goes to a boarding school in Korea and ends up falling for a Korean pop star while she's there. And that just sounds awesome. It's obviously going to be a contemporary romance, and they're saying it's in the vein of Anna and the French Kiss. I am very into K-pop and K-dramas, and I mean J-pop and J-dramas was what inspired me to move to Japan years ago, and I was there for 5 years in the end learning the language. So if I could, I would head straight to Korea and do the same thing there. But I'm trying to lay some roots now, so just no one let me do that. I'm not allowed to do that. But Hello, I Love You comes out on the 9th of June, and that's the last one I'm going to tell you about. It looks awesome. They all look awesome, hence why they're on this video. Thank you for your patience. If you have been affected by any of the behaviour exhibited in this video, please don't call this number that's not on the screen. I'm gonna go. Bye. Wait, no, scratch that. I haven't finished. I meant to ask you, what are you looking forward to reading this year? It can be something that's coming out this year, something you're simply determined to finally read this year. Talk to me, please, down in the boxes below. Try not to be too scathing, because I am aware that something mysterious and frightening happened in this video, and I cannot promise that it won't happen in the next one as well. But if you are okay with that, you're my kind of person, so please stick around and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!